Well, good afternoon. How you doing? That's good enough. That's good enough. Hope you're having a great weekend. Oh my goodness, I got a Godfather's pizza, one of those little tiny pizzas. They called it a humble pie. It had like some green peppers and some other stuff on it. It's pretty good. And now I've got some Chester's chicken. I'm probably I when I go and I order at a restaurant, I typically order like two meals, because I don't like going back and forth to the restaurant all the time. So I'll get a second meal and I'll throw it in the fridge and eat it later. So I am sitting at a Love's truck stop. It is Saturday, October 2nd. It is 1:42 p.m. Saturday, October 2nd, 1:42 p.m. Wait, should I tilt this down a little bit? Is that better? We'll get more of my sexy body. Um, I'm down in Laredo, Texas. I'm trying to be in a good mood, but things suck. Well, it's a mixed bag. And I think that's life in general, man. It's ups and downs, good and bad, and you have to try and realize that bad things just happen, and good things are gonna happen. So don't dwell on the good, don't dwell on the bad. Just go with it. So what all is going on with me? Oh my goodness. I've already uploaded a video talking about the load that I got, so I'm not going to go into detail about the load. It was an amazing load. I make roughly $5,725 on the load. It's from Salina, Kansas, or Salina, Kansas, down to Laredo, Texas. 870 loaded miles, 250-mile deadhead, and it paid a total of $8,600. And I made a little over $5,725 gross to the truck after the percentage cuts. Amazing load. And it was one pallet that was 120 pounds. Just this. I could have probably picked the pallet up and put it in the trailer. But I had to back into this sketch dock in Salina, a street back into a dock that was like down. One of those where the dock floor is ground level and the dock is down below it. Street backing inside a building. Like it sucked. But anyway, got down here to Laredo to deliver the load. And the broker said I could deliver it whenever I wanted. I could deliver it early. I had to have it delivered by 8 a.m. Monday morning. I picked it up Wednesday at around 1 p.m. Well, that was my pickup appointment time, was 1 p.m. I think I picked it up around 11:30 a.m. or noon. But I got down here to Laredo Thursday afternoon sometime. I want to say it was somewhere around 1 p.m. Thursday afternoon is when I got down to Laredo. And this load is going into Mexico. I forgot the name of the town in Mexico that it's going to. But it's automotive. It's just a pallet of cables. And it says on the bill of lading that the value of that pallet of cables is $5,000. So they're paying like 3 times the value, at least double the value. Because I don't know, like I only carried the load like a certain distance. And they're paying me, or they paid $8,600 for me to take it from Salina, Kansas down to Laredo. Now they're going to pay somebody else to take it from Laredo down to wherever it's going. And then there's also the cross-border, the customs. Penske is doing the customs on it, and they're taking it across the border. So there's probably at least 3 different entities that they're paying to get this load to where it's going. And just one of them, which is me, is, this is Landstar in general, because it's me, it's the Landstar agent, and then it's Landstar as well. All 3 of us took a split of $8,600. So the customer is paying a ridiculous amount of money to get this pallet of cables down to Mexico. These are the type of desperation loads that, I mean, the desperation loads happen all the time, but the supply chain shortages are causing more desperation loads. Like, oh my God, we have those parts. We have to get them down there as soon as possible. The whole factory is waiting on that. I'm losing $1 million a day. Pay them whatever we got to pay them to get those down there as quickly as possible. That kind of stuff is happening. So, because it's going across the border, as part of the process, I had to take it over to the Landstar LMO yard. Landstar Mexico Operations is what it stands for. I took it over to the LMO yard, and they have to do an inspection on it, and then they give me an inspection sheet. And on that inspection sheet, they write down like damage, like scratches and dents and dings and shit like that on the trailer, how much tread is on the tires, all that stuff right there. Because I don't think it's going to be a Landstar employee that's operating down in Mexico. They're going to hand the trailer off to a third party. Third party is going to run it down there, run it back. And so for insurance purposes or whatever, they want to have that inspection sheet showing what condition the trailer was in whenever they gave it to this company, and they expect it to be in that condition when they get it back. So I went over to that terminal, got that inspection done, and the trailer was also due for a DOT inspection. I didn't have to do that. The DOT inspection was still good for another week. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to. I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me, so I'm not going to do that to somebody else. I'm not going to give them a trailer that they immediately have to go get an inspection on. So I was like, I'm going to be at the Landstar terminal anyway. It's real easy to get an inspection done there. So I was like, I'll go ahead and get an inspection done. So I did that. In my last video, I talked about all the nonsense with that. Like, oh my goodness, like it was nonsense is not the right word. It is drama. They did a really good inspection and they found some shit wrong and they got it fixed. The one thing that pissed me off about it is the mud flaps. In my last video, I talked about the mud flaps. Now it's supposed to have that bar across there so the bolts didn't go through it. Well, the last place that did a DOT inspection didn't put that damn bar on there. So this place replaced the mud flap. They also didn't put the damn bar on there. There's a mud flap kit that they're supposed to use when they put a mud flap on to put that damn bar on there. So the mud flaps on that trailer are not going to last very long. The last ones lasted less than 4 months, and the bolts started rubbing through. So, yeah, anyway, just half-assed mechanics. But, they weren't able to fix that trailer until Friday. It was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon that they finally finished with my trailer. So as soon as they finished with my trailer, I left that Landstar terminal, I drove across town, and traffic down here in Laredo is fucking insane. It's like driving in a fucking third world country where cars are forcing their way in front of you, and like everybody it's just like stop and go traffic, and people are driving down the shoulders and shit, and they're like, changing lanes by just like running you off the road, and it reminds me of like seeing people driving in a fucking third world country. But it's traffic down here sucks really bad, but it's in a very small area. Traffic around the entire area is not bad. It's just around the cross-border operations. There's Mexico drivers that are just constantly going back and forth from Mexico to the U.S. shuttling trailers. And that's what makes the traffic so insane down here. But I drove over there into that mess, over to the Penske customs place. It's their cross-border operation. I was going to drop the trailer off with them. And they spent 15 minutes, in their office. And then they came back out to me and they're like, yeah, we don't have this in our system. You're going to have to call your boss. I don't have a boss. I am the boss, bitch. No. Anyway, it's funny when people are trying to tell you stuff like that. They have no idea how you're structured. But they're like, you're gonna have to call your boss and have them send the paperwork over. I'm like, you mean the broker? He's like, yeah, whoever it is you got to call. We don't have any record of this shipment, so they haven't sent us the paperwork on it yet. And I was like, okay. Can I have 5 minutes to call the broker? Can I park here somewhere for 5 minutes and call the broker and see if I can get it taken care of real quick? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just pull up right over there. Make sure you don't park in the crosswalk, and you'll be fine right there. And I was like, all right, cool. So I pulled up, called the broker, texted the broker, could not get a fucking response from the broker. So I was like, well, I can't stay here forever. So I went ahead and left the place, drove all the way back over to the Landstar terminal, and the broker still hadn't contacted me back. I tried calling him a couple more times, couldn't reach him. I left voicemail, I texted him, I called him, couldn't get a hold of the broker. So then I called Landstar customer service, and they were like, oh, this is an automotive load. We have a special department for automotive. Let me transfer you over there. So they transferred me over to the automotive, and I got a hold of the customer care over there, and I'm like, hey, I've got this load that I'm trying to deliver, and it was rejected because of a paperwork issue, and I'm trying to reach the broker, and I can't reach the broker. Can you help me reach the broker? And they're like, yeah, hold on a minute. And they put me on hold for like 10 minutes, and then they popped back on, and they were like, I've got somebody with GBM agency or something like that. The agency I'm hauling the load for, I believe, is GBQ, if I remember correctly. And they said that I have somebody on from GBM agency. They are a partner of GBQ, and Jake here will help you out. And I was like, all right, thanks. So I talked with Jake, and Jake was basically like, well, Frank handles all this stuff, and Frank is the one I've been dealing with over at GBQ. So Jake basically told me there was nothing he could do, but he said that he would call me back, and he would try to reach Frank. And he took down my phone number. Well, Jake never fucking called me back. So I sat at the Landstar terminal all day Friday, stayed overnight Friday night, and then at 6 o'clock Saturday morning, Frank finally returned my text message, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry I missed this yesterday. I hope you dropped the trailer off at the Landstar terminal. And I was like, well, I'm still at the Landstar terminal with the trailer. I'll do whatever you want me to do with it. And he said, just go ahead and drop it off there. So I was like, all right. So I had to drive out of the terminal, and as I was leaving, they have inspection bays going in and out. So as I was leaving, when I pulled up into the inspection bay, I explained to the inspector what was going on. I was like, hey, I'm trying to deliver this load to Penske across town, and they rejected it yesterday because of a paperwork issue. And the broker just told me a few minutes ago to just leave the trailer here, just drop it off, and he's going to have somebody else deliver it. So I'm just going to go outside and come back in and then drop the trailer off here. And he said, all right, cool, I'm not going to inspect you, and I'm not going to mark you as gone. Just let the guy at the shack when you come in know, tell him what you told me. So I did that. So I just went out, turned around, came back in, and they signed they made a copy of the bill of lading, signed it, gave it to me. They kept the original bill of lading, and I told them I needed to break the seal to get my strap out. And I was like, "What? How do you guys want to do that? Do you want me to put another seal on it? Do you guys want to put a seal on it? Do you want me to leave it unsealed? What do you want to do?" And they said that you need to talk with the agent about that. We don't mess with seals. And I was like, all right. So I went back in there, parked, tried reaching the agent again, called him, texted him. He won't fucking respond, man. This guy is so hard to get a hold of. And after waiting for an hour, I just gave up. And I just replied back to him, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and break the seal, take my strap out, put a new seal on it. I went ahead and did all that, and I sent him a text message. I wrote on the bill of lading that I broke the seal to remove my strap and the new seal number. And I sent him a picture of that. And then I went ahead and did my transflow where I, send Landstar the copy of the signed bill and with all my numbers and everything. So I'm done with that load. The trailer's dropped over there, and I also texted the broker to let him know what space number the trailer was in. So everything, as far as I hope, man, there was so much weird shit with this load. I hope that there's not any more drama with this load. I hope that they don't try to screw me out of money because I didn't make the final delivery. I just hope there's zero drama going forward with this load. I'm gonna be really pissed off if there's any bullshit, because it is a really amazing load, and even with all of the crap that I had to go through for the load, it's still a really amazing load. So, hold on just a second. It's getting really warm in here. Let me close the sleeper curtain and see if that helps. The APU struggles to keep up whenever the sun is hitting the truck. That's one of the big reasons I want to get a new truck, is to get something that, this thing is so poorly insulated. The floor, yeah, right here it is. I have this little thermal gun. It just has a little laser on it, and let's point it right at the camera and see if we get the laser shining in the camera. And I just check temperature stuff. The table is 74.8 degrees. The temperature gauge says that the side of this is 76.8. My temperature gauge here says 77.5, so slight discrepancy. But this is measuring the temperature of the plastic right here, and this is measuring the air temperature. But I've been using this to go around and check and see where in the hell all the heat is coming from. Well, there was a tremendous amount of heat coming through these windows, and I've insulated them. Now, this is 80.7 degrees. This little flap right here, this window cover, is 80.7 degrees, bouncing around in that area. Right around 80 to 81 degrees. This was over 100 degrees before I insulated it. It'd be like it'd be reading probably like 110, 120 degrees right now if I didn't have that insulation in there. All these windows in the sleeper were a huge source of heat. Another source of heat that I found, well, the windows in the front are also a major source of heat, and I've done a few things to try to reduce the amount of heat coming through there, but I've also found that the floor is also a major source of heat. Underneath the floor is just bare metal. And there's a lot of places where if I lift up the flooring and look underneath at the bare metal, there's a lot of places where I can see all the way down to the ground. The flooring that's in here is not insulated. This flooring is just like a rubber with carpet on it. It transfers heat really well. It's not an insulator. This floor was reading yesterday when it was 90 degrees, 95 degrees outside. I forget how hot outside it was yesterday. This floor was reading like 105 degrees. There was 105 degrees coming up from the floor. And I raised the flooring up, and the bare metal underneath the flooring was so hot, like you couldn't keep your hand on it. I didn't measure to see what the exact temperature was, because it was kind of a pain in the ass to hold the flooring back and look down in there to see what was there. So I didn't bother measuring the temperature. I could tell it was extremely hot just by touching it. I put my hand on it just to see how much heat was coming up from there, and it was like scalding hot. Like, it would burn your hand if you left it on there for any length of time. It was really, really hot. So what I did was I have insulation in the truck, a roll of that foil insulation with foam in between it. It's foil, foam, foil. And I pulled the carpet back, or the flooring back, and I put a layer of that insulation underneath the flooring. Like, I couldn't removing the whole flooring to insulate the entire floor would require me like removing the cabinets, because part of the flooring is bolted down by the stuff that's holding the cabinets in. So I would have to completely remove the cabinets and the chairs to pull all the flooring out. I don't know, one of these days I might do that and insulate the flooring, but that is a massive undertaking. That would take me a long time to do by myself, because I'd have to figure out how to do it. I'd have to completely unpack everything in the truck, and then dismantle everything. It would be a pain in the ass. So there are certain sections of the carpet that I can lift up without too much hassle. It was still a pain in the ass, but it's not as bad as removing the cabinets. And I put as much insulation underneath the floor as I could. And right now, the floor is 79.8 and 82 over here. The place where I put insulation, but I couldn't do a really good job of it because I couldn't lift the flooring up very high. That floor is 82 degrees, and this one is 79 degrees. It's a huge difference. So with all the things that I've done to insulate the truck, let me see what the temperature is right now. Laredo, Texas temperature. It's 89 degrees right now. Right now, the APU air conditioner is able to keep it 78 degrees, and it's still rising. I don't know what it's eventually going to get up to, but it's able to, keep the back here at 78 degrees with all of the insulating that I've done. Without all the insulating that I've done, it would be 90 degrees inside this truck. Generally, it gets hotter inside this truck than it does outside. Before I did all the insulation that I did, just running the APU air conditioner, it would be hotter inside the truck than outside of the truck. So it's 89 degrees outside right now. It would probably be 95 degrees inside this truck. With the air conditioner, with the APU air conditioner running on full blast, it would be roughly 95 degrees inside this truck. And right now it's 78. So it made a huge difference, but it still sucks. Like 78 degrees, almost 80 degrees with the air conditioner running on full blast is not good. What I've been doing during the day to make it tolerable in here is run the main truck engine. And with the main truck has two air conditioning units. It has the air conditioning unit in the cab, and then it has another unit back here in the sleeper. So turning both of those on full blast, before I did all the insulation, it would be able to keep the truck down to about what it is right now, about 75 to 78 degrees. That would be about as cold as it would be able to get. After all the insulation that I've done right now the main air conditioning unit can get the inside of the truck down to like 60 degrees. It's a 15 to 20 degree difference inside the truck. So huge difference, but still sucks. I'm looking forward to getting a new truck, and the insulation of the truck is going to be a big part of it for me, because this is a major comfort issue. It really, really sucks. So anyway, one other thing that I want to talk about. Let me tell you what's going on. Then there's one thing I want to talk about, and then I'll wrap the video up. So the load that I did, I talked about this in the last video. This load down here that I'm delivering to Laredo, it's a drop, not a drop and hook. I busted my ass to get down here as quickly as possible so I could deliver it as quickly as possible so that I could get another trailer, so that I could get another load. Well, because of all the drama with this load, now I'm stuck and I have to wait until Monday to contact trailer utilization. Trailer utilization is Monday through Friday. They're not open nights. They're not open weekends. So I have to wait until Monday to contact them to get a trailer. So I'll contact them Monday morning and get a trailer, and then I can start looking for a load. So this broker not submitting the paperwork properly has really fucked me over and cost me 3 or 4 days. So I'm going to have to set for an extra 3 or 4 days on this load because of this broker being just impossible to reach and not submitting paperwork properly. It's really pissed me off. It's costing me a lot of time, and time is money. So, yeah, I'm just really upset about that. But so, that's the situation I'm in right now. Is I'm bobtail. I'm sitting at the Love's truck stop off of Mines Road, down here in Laredo, just hanging out until Monday morning at the earliest, and then I'm going to get on the list for a trailer Monday morning. I don't know when they're going to get me a trailer. I suspect that they're going to get me a trailer really, really fast. It might be instantly. Whenever I call them, they might immediately tell me, oh, go over here and pick up a trailer. I'm hoping I get a brand new one, because down here in Laredo is it's one of the places where we get brand new trailers. They're made in, I think, Mexico, and then they're dropped off at a yard just down the road here. And hopefully I can just drive over there and pick up a brand new trailer. But that's where I'm at right now. Just staying here for the weekend, and I can't book a load until I get a trailer. The one other thing I want to talk about is internet in the truck. And I've been thinking about whether or not I should tell anybody this, because here's the deal. Almost all of the internet, the really good internet that people have inside the trucks, or mobile internet, RV usage, or internet for travel in general. It's not just trucker internet, but mobile internet using cellular providers for internet. Almost all of them are exploits in some way. And whenever a lot of people find out about them, the cell companies will shut them down. It's kind of like the AT&T. One of the biggest exploited data plans that existed was the AT&T tablet plan. AT&T had an unlimited data tablet plan. It was only supposed to be used on tablets, but what people would do is they would activate it using a tablet IMEI code, and then they would take the SIM card and put it in another device. The only check they ever did with those tablets, with that tablet plan, was when you initially signed up. And I don't even know if they even bothered checking the IMEI, in all honesty. But AT&T thought that those would only be used on tablets, and there was no hotspot data on them or anything like that. So AT&T didn't really police those data plans. They didn't think they could be exploited. Well, people found that you could just take that SIM card and put it in something like a cellular router and have unlimited high-speed internet. It was never deprioritized. It was never throttled, and it was just completely unlimited. And oh my God, almost all of those cellular data companies, those resellers, almost all of them, that's what they were selling, was that. And it was really cheap. It was like $20 or $30 a month. And there was a whole bunch of those just really shitty, shady scam companies that were exploiting that data plan, that were reselling. All they were doing was going out and activating hundreds of those SIM cards, and then they would charge you like $100 a month, and they would just send you that SIM card. Well, AT&T finally caught on to that and shut every one of those SIM cards down. Supposedly, there are still some of those that are grandfathered in that AT&T has not shut down, and they sell for a lot of money. I don't know if that's true, or if AT&T has eventually shut them down, but anyway, That's the reason I'm hesitant to mention this, because it is a bit of an exploit. It's the latest and greatest exploit. And if a lot of people start doing it, then it might get shut down. So I don't have a whole lot of people that watch my videos, and I'm going to intentionally not mention this in the title. I'm mentioning it way late in the video as well. So really, it should only be my people who really listen to my videos and really watch my videos that make it this far in the video. And they're not here, because of some clickbait title or some bullshit like that, which I don't do clickbait. So here's the thing. The best internet for the truck right now that I'm aware of is T-Mobile. T-Mobile has rolled out internet service, 5G internet. So in order for you to get it, you have to use an address that the 5G internet is available in. It's only available in like 600 markets, but they're constantly expanding that. So it's available at my house. If you want to get it and it's not available at your house, what you could do is just find another address that it is available at. Now they're probably going to ship it to whatever address you give them. So don't use some random address and then you're over there trying to steal their mail or something like that. I don't know. You can figure out how to do that. The address part of it. Me, luckily, it was available at my address, so I didn't have to deal with any drama about like having it set up at a friend's address or anything. But the T-Mobile internet is $50 a month, unlimited data, and that's it. They provide you a cellular router. Cellular routers are generally between $150 and $500, and they're providing you with a really amazing cellular router. It's Wi-Fi 6, it's 5G. A lot of these cellular routers that you can buy on Amazon and places like that, they are really shitty. They're made with really cheap equipment, like the one that I have that I typically use in the truck, MIT wireless cellular router. That one is not very good. It's better than using a phone, as a hotspot. It has better antennas and stuff like that, but it still sucks. The T-Mobile cellular router is amazing. It's really good. So they're giving you that for free. So you're saving between $150 and $500 on a cellular router. They're just giving you one for free. And it's only $50 a month. Unlimited data. No limits whatsoever. Now, in the service contract, when you sign up, it says that this service is only for the address that you signed up for. And if you use it at another location, they reserve the right to discontinue your service. They are not enforcing that. There are a lot of people that are traveling and using this at various locations. And there are even reports that the T-Mobile salespeople and the customer service people are telling people exactly what I'm telling you. Oh, if the service isn't available at your address, you could try using a friend's address and see if it's available there, and you could sign up at that location. And then when the customer service people are asked about traveling with it, I've been told that they're telling people that we can't guarantee speeds if you take it outside the location where it's signed up for. If you use it at another location, we can't guarantee any speeds. You get guaranteed speeds at the location that you sign up for. The speeds that they guarantee are pretty low. The speeds I actually get are way, way, way higher than that. So I signed up for that at my house, and I brought that cellular router with me on the truck. That's what I'm using right now. And the speeds are all over the place. When I'm at a really good 5G tower, I can get like 400 megabits down and like 70 megabits up. when I was over at the Landstar terminal, I was getting like 5 megabits down and like 1 or 2 megabits up. It was pretty slow. Over here at the Loves, I have a really weak signal, and I just did a test, and I was getting 100 megabits down. And I only have 2 of 4 bars of signal strength over here, or 2 of 5. Is it 4 or 5 bars? Yeah, it's 2 of 5 bars. Let me, I would show you this page, but it has, like, my serial number and stuff like that, which could potentially be personal. Some of the default passwords might be based on my serial numbers, so I don't want to show that info. But yeah, right now, and I don't know how long it's going to last before T-Mobile starts cracking down on it, but as of right now, that is the best mobile internet that I know of, is T-Mobile's internet service, their home internet service. You can just take the cellular router anywhere with you. And there's not much of any setup to it. You just plug it into a power source and use the Wi-Fi. I mean, I think it has some, you can cable it. It has a couple of cable connections, so if you have Ethernet cables run throughout your truck, then you could just hook it up to your router as an internet source. That's the way I had it hooked up at my house. But yeah, it's amazing internet. But yeah, if you get into a spot that has really shitty cell towers, then you know it's gonna suck. But it's like a lot better than what I was doing. A lot, and I was using T-Mobile before, but it was with 4G. Now with 5G on this cellular router, it's way, way, way better. It's so much better. It's so much faster and so much lower latency. So, anyway, I think I'm going to start wrapping up the video. I'm going to sit here and play video games. It's almost up to 80 degrees back here. I'm going to sit here and play video games all weekend. And then Monday morning, get a trailer, and then I'll start looking for a load. Getting out of Laredo. Second here. But yeah, I would recommend that you not run around telling everybody about the T-Mobile internet, because like I said earlier, if it starts getting exploited really bad, if it starts congesting their network, then T-Mobile might crack down on it and shut everybody down. So don't run around making clickbait videos about T-Mobile internet, please. But anyway, hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope it continues to be great. If you're out there grilling at the house, then or hanging out at the house, playing video games at the house. That's a good thing to do. I like hanging out and playing video games at the house. Or you're out making money. Whatever it is you're doing, I hope you're doing it well and making a lot of money or having a lot of fun. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.